Hello everybody and welcome back, where today there's about a week left or so for the Dealmania sale on PSVR2. I think it runs until the 11th or 12th, so you've got a little while, and since I missed the start of the sale, I thought it's best to pick it up now and tell you guys a couple of the great games on here before it goes away. If it's applicable with other regions, I will leave their prices on the screen as well, but as for verbal confirmation, it will be in pounds, but the other prices will be there for you. Before we get into this, only 25% you are subscribed, so please feel free to do so, and thank you to our patrons and YouTube members for keeping the channel going day after day and week after week, because without them, I could not do this. With that being said, let's take a look. First up, Swordsman VR is £11.24. Its recent Christmas update added a fair bit of content, and it gets updated every now and again. There's a lot to blast through here, many arenas, many weapons, and special weapons and abilities to choose from, along with the addition of a bow, I think last year, which is a ton of fun. It's not quite as much as a full sandbox as, say, Blade and Sorcery, but Swordsman does have a robust fighting and dueling system, especially in the specifics of swordplay. Feels very good to fight in, runs native, and does look pretty decent. If you have this on PSVR1 though, you can upgrade for free, I believe. Into the Radius is 34% off at £16.49. Into the Radius is one of the most realistic games on PSVR2 in terms of interactions and handling. Tons of weapons to choose from in this survival adventure horror game. Very much like the Stalker flat screen game series. If you like that, you'll feel very much at home here. It's sold a lot on PSVR2, on PC, and on Quest for very good reason, because Into the Radius is bloody immersive, quite punishing, but really satisfying when you pull off missions just right. Drunkn bar fight is also £11.24. This does seem like a bit of fun. I haven't played it myself, but I have a couple of mates who have. And if you're looking for some mindless comedic action, this is the game for you. Green Hell VR is also £11.24 at 55% off. It's just got the co-op mode. It does still look a little bit muddy, but they've made a lot of improvements in areas to, say, the open world, especially in co-op, which makes it feel a lot more seamless. And if you're looking for that hardcore VR survival experience, then look no further. Just gonna pause the sale here for a second to introduce our sponsors of today's video, VRROCK. Now, VRROCK make prescription VR lenses, not just for PSVR2, but for a bunch of VR headsets. I use them personally on my PSVR2 with anti-blue light and anti-glare filter options. They also have magnetic or non-magnetic options if you swap around the headset regularly between a couple of people who all need glasses. Whether you need your custom prescription tuned, or if you need no prescription at all and just want some protection from scratches on your VR lenses, VRROCK is the place to go, and they haven't let me down over the last couple of years of using them. Check them out using my discount code in the link in the description below, and thank you to VRROCK for being the paid partner of today's video. With that being said, let's get back on with it, shall we? Hubris is £9.99, down from £24.99, so 60% off. This is one of the best looking games on PSVR2. In my opinion, the story sort of falls apart a little bit later on, and the voice acting and writing isn't amazing, but the visuals and the pretty fun combat do make up for that. It's a great PSVR2 game to just kind of immerse yourself in a sci-fi universe that simply wouldn't be possible without the use of VR. It does run reprojected, but it still looks fantastic and has some really good set pieces. If you're a sci-fi fan, definitely consider it. Cyube VR is also 20% off at £23.19. This is a Minecraft-like game, however it is a little bit different in a couple of ways. It's creative focused, so there are no survival elements and no hostile mobs, but essentially you have to gather all the resources and build stuff yourself, just like in Minecraft, but it's more of a sandbox than Minecraft is. It's a bit of a bridge between Minecraft survival and creative mode in terms of constraints, but it's more leaning towards creative. It's amazing looking though on the headset, with some very high resolution textures and some of the longest draw distances I've ever seen in a VR game. Red Matter 1 is £10.39. If you've never played 1 or 2, I'd say maybe wait until both are on sale. If you did get 2 and enjoyed it, Red Matter 1 is more of the same, albeit on a smaller budget, quite a bit shorter and with less set pieces, but it still is definitely worth your time. A PSVR2 game that I didn't absolutely love is Thief Simulator Greenview Street. That is £12.99. I felt it was a bit janky, it didn't look great, but the actual thief mechanics were pretty cool. But for a stealth fix in VR, you might just want to wait until Hitman is out in the next couple of weeks. I would have a word of warning against Gorn as well. It was fun on PSVR1, but the PSVR2 version of the game just doesn't really feel up to scratch, and if you want this sort of gladiatorial, funny combat game, Gorn 2 is on the way, so maybe avoid Gorn at £7.99 at the moment. What you shouldn't avoid though is Arcade Paradise VR, down to £9.59. This game allows you to run your own arcade inside a laundromat, and as the story progresses, you rely less on the laundromat for income and more on the arcade as you encourage more and more customers to come and try out the games, and you can try out the games after hours as well, adding a whole lot more to the fun. Toy Trains VR is also £5.74. In this game, you essentially just build train tracks. solving various scenarios by placing down the tracks and letting the trains run. There's not a ton to do in this one, but if you enjoyed toy trains as a kid, this will give you a nostalgic kick. Drums Rock Deluxe Edition is also £12.99, which includes, I think, a bunch of the DLC, including the Undertale DLC, which is also on sale right now for £2.16 if you already own the game. It's a fantastic rhythm game on PSVR2, you should definitely consider it. Kart Racer Galaxy Kart is £7.99 if you're looking for a game to link up with a couple of other mates and race karts around tracks with each other. Well, you now have Exo Cars with the multiplayer being added soon, and you also have Galaxy Kart, which has received a ton of updates since launch and is now in a pretty good place, or so I hear. Snow Scout is also £12.79. This skiing story game immerses you as one of the Snow Scouts opening up the ski resort before the season starts, testing all the runs, speaking to another employee over the radio, and answering a couple of questions about yourself along the way. I really enjoyed this one. Premium edition of Walkabout Mini Golf is £14.99 as well, including a bunch of the DLC. If you haven't got Walkabout by now, this is a prime time to do it. Borderbots VR is £9.99. Haven't played this one myself, but I hear it's a bit like Papers, Please, but with robots. If that sounds appealing to you, then definitely give it a look on the store. The game where you embody a mechanical bird, Mare, is £15.99 with full eye-tracked gameplay options available, vast and strange landscapes to explore, 8 chapters across the entire game with incredible ambient atmosphere and otherworldly music, as you search for lost artifacts hidden around the world to uncover the secrets of Mare. That is 20% off. Pixel Ripped 1978 an Atari Adventure is £8.99 as well. I've heard a lot of praise for this, so definitely give it a look if you're one of the nostalgic types. And finally, Flatter VR's debut game, which is utterly fantastic, Trombone Champ Unflattened, is on sale for the first time, I want to say, at £11.99. If you're a PS Plus member, it's £11.24. I've got nothing bad to say about this game. They've taken on board a load of feedback. It looks fantastic. It runs great. It's incredibly stable. The rhythm game mechanics are really robust, and it is genuinely funny. If you enjoyed the flat screen game, or even if you've never tried it, you should definitely consider this, if rhythm games are your thing. Anyway, that'll be all for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please consider subbing to the channel if you do feel so inclined, and I hope to see you all in the next one.